Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn about our second survey topics. Now, topic name is race, gender, and ethnicity in post-colonial literature. Race is a term from classification of human beings into physically, biologically, and gender distinct groups. Means we understand there is a what you understand here. Physically, biological, and genetical distinct group means these are groups. The notion of the race assumes firstly that humanity is divided into unchanging natural types. There is no divide in humanity. Unchanging natural types recognizable by the physical features that are transmitted through the blood and permit distance to be made between the pure and mixed race. They be pure and mixed race, but they are naturally. Furthermore, the term implies that the mental and moral behavior of human beings, as well as the individual personality, there is a human being also. Uh, Temple is the mental and moral behavior of the human being as well as the individual personality, ideas, capacities. They have ideas, personality also. And there is one group particular. They have kept all the qualities of the human beings. We can say that. And next one, the account of the behavior. Race is particularly the pertain to the rise of the colonialism. Because of the division of the human society in this way is intricable from the need of the colonist powers to establish dominance over the subject peoples and let and justify the imperial enterprises. Race thinking and the colonialism are imbued with the same impetus to draw binary distinction between civilized and primitive. There is we can say the two types of the civilized or primitive and the same necessity for the hierarchization of human times. Means there is a inheritance, we can say that, by translating the fact of the colonial operation into justifying theory. However, spurious European race thinking initiated a hierarchy of the human variation that has been difficult to dislodge. Although race is not specially an invention of the imperialism, it quickly became the one of imperialism most of the supportive ideas, because the idea of the superiority and the emergence of races concept adapt easily to both impulses of the imperial mission, dominance and enlightenment. Means can they dominant and emulations of the means race is naturally limited groups. They have quality of the human being also, a natural quality, we can say. In this respect, racism is not so much the product of the concept of race as the very reason for our existence. The race or racism, another concept also. Without underlying desire, the hierarchical characterization implicit in racism, race would not exist. Racism can be defined as a way of thinking. What we can define of the racism? Racism is a way of thinking that consider a group of unchangeable physical characters to be linked in a direct casual way to psychological or intellectual characteristics, and which basis of distinguishes between natural characters and whatever. These are the race. Now gender, I think thus the broad utility term race is continues to hold center stage, while the theorists of the which concept race were established have become more and more blurred. In this way, resistance become less and less able to dislodge the vague and untable concept of the race. Means according to the area, there is a different types of the race, and we can there is a one criteria of the race, and there is also characteristics of the particular race. Race is the time of the neo-colonialism is just is a vague, we can say this not clear about, vague means not clear about the race or racism. Resilience, as it was the beginning of the history of the European imperialism, it perhaps to the concept of ethnicity to change the direction to debate. Now the gender, all of you know that there is a male female, but there is a beyond that we understand what is going on. The South African place discuss demonstrate the constructiveness of the racial categories at the same time as their attempt to reclaim strategy if negotiable race in place identities for many post-colonial dramatists, particular woman or parallel project is to be recapture female subjectives while showing that gender is an ideology map across the body in and through the representation. In the same, however, that impressively is to deconstruct the category of the female or man to intro in the discussion that the natural gender hierarchies, the pattern is possible related to pursue fixed gender binary. There is a male female, there is a fixed pattern of the male female. White black classification as the quickly broken down by the racial hybridity, and I think uh, which can be dissolved into male female when the biological marker sex or as biological process of the sex or means that is a male or female. Some writers and practitioners do share Anglo-African feminism interest in establishing gender binaries, whether through its sex radical it performs through the installed road to human subjection under the imperialism. According to gender, is less like to function and to category discrimination in post colonial place than in the combination with their factors. The race, class, or the cultural background, electoral, according to gender description. There is the male, female. There is according to physical or whatever. There is characteristics of the male or female. They can you can see the according to there is a atmosphere also. An addition factor that the colonization delation of the gender powerful type of the imperial discuss in one which reinforce in some instance women's bodies are not exploited by the colonizer but also appreciate the colonized practice patriarchy as a part of political agenda which may not fully serve the interest of the human in question. So that's important in the factor. There is a political agenda also. There are gender discrimination in particular event also. Rape is a prominent significant number of places, particularly in the countries where the settle, which is so-called unoccupied territories. Uh, Territories disputed though not only but also unbelievable indigenous peoples and analog for the colonies violation of the land and also for related forms of economical and political exploration. Upon such a representation are designed to reveal less about the experience of the oppressed than about the rape mentally or the oppressors in the chilling final moments of the candidate George Raisa expedition of the Rita Lodge or example the rape and murder of the center protecting of the three white men provides the graphic description of their widespread brutality. The colonial judicial system displays figures Rita means there is a rape or whatever is a gender description or whatever this is functionless as the individual as this a member of the native culture science Canada. So means there is a different type, there is a different nature, gender description, gender binary apples whatever. There is a problems are faced by the another area. Now ethnicity. Ethnicity term that has been used internationally since 1960 account for the human variation in terms of the culture, tradition, language. I mean the ethnicities means what? There is a culture, tradition, language, and social patterns and ancestry rather than this characteristic generalization of the race with this assumption the humanity divided into fixed genetically determined biological types. Ethnicity refers to the fusion of the many traits and belongs to the nature of the any ethnic group. Means there is a particular ethnic group of the talking about the culture, gender, or language, or the social problems, social picture patterns and ancestry. That is the ethnicity. A person ethnic group is such a powerful identity because of the while he or she chooses to remain. There is a disturbance of the some okay. Now person ethnic group is such a powerful identifier because of the he or she chooses the remain its identity cannot be denied, rejected, or taken away by the others, whereas the race emerges as a way of the establishing hierarchical division between Europe and his other adapting people according to fixed genetic criteria. Ethnicity usually develop as develop expression of positive self-repression that offers certain advantage to its membership of the ethnic group is shared according to certain agreed criteria even though the nature and combination of the importance of those criteria may be debated or may change over time. So that's most important. Indeed, few terms are used in such a variety of the ways with such a variety of their definition and deals with the 27 definition ethnicity in use in the United States alone. This is possibly because the ethnic groups, although may be seem to socially defined, are distinguished both from inside and outside the groups of the basis of culture criteria, so that he did the various purposes for which the group has been identified. Not every ethnic group will be necessary totally have the defining trait, but all display various combination or verified degrees, and furthermore both ethnically and its components are relative to time and place, and like any social and phenomena they are dynamic and prone to change. Means here according to physical or there is a culture, there is according to the, so that's why they're according to their culture or physical environments or whatever this atmosphere in according to their changeable the ethnic concept also. The simplest and perhaps the narrowest definition of ethnic groups therefore might be the group that is socially distinguished or set apart by others or itself primarily on the basis of the culture or natural characteristics. Indeed, the word ethnic comes forth when the Greek ethnos means the nation, and the earliest English use the word ethnic refer to cultural different heathen names. Means ethnic means there are cultural differences. Hmm? A sense that has lingered as a connotation. Some contemporaries use the term identify ethnic with the national group in the Europe, where the some expression such as the basics, the link between the ethnic and nationality has appeared justified. Just the first use of the ethnic group in terms of national origin developed in the period of the heavy migration of the southern and eastern Europe nation USA in the early 20th century. These are the so um, our second survey topics. So any problem, any doubt, you can ask me. No, my group WhatsApp group or my WhatsApp number also. So thank you very much. And I think there is a most important race is a little bit easy for the race and gender. What ethnicity is a new term for us, but race ethnicity is a language, or we can say the term of cultures, tradition, language, or social patterns and ancestry. Means there is particular group or pattern we can use the this group. So thank you very much, and any doubt, any problem you can ask me. Thank you very much.